Hey everybody, welcome back to another War of the Visions video. Today we're going to be talking about the two new step up banners that just dropped in today's update, and I actually think that these are a big trap. You should not be pulling on these banners, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. But you also might be thinking this is kind of rich because I did pull on the last step up banner and I got 5 URs, so there's definitely always going to be variance, but I do believe that for anyone that is free to play or people that are in my position, which is kind of like a little bit of a minnow, then these are not the banners for you. But I also want to hear from you, so get in the comments and let me know if you agree or disagree once the video gets rolling here. And if you did pull, then I need to know what you got, if anyone got anything good. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so before we talk about the step-ups, let's talk a little bit about how I did last time. So you might remember that I was able to pull Ziza twice. I pulled Gilgamesh, I also pulled Mediana, and then I pulled Siren. So that's 5 UR pulls, but that hasn't really affected my account except for the Mediana pull. So maybe one day, super down the road, I'm going to be building Ziza for her TMR. I'm definitely never going to build Gilgamesh because I'm just not going to whale out for him. But really, out of all of those pulls, the one thing that helped me was the Mediana, and that was pure luck. I could have pulled any other UR, so it really isn't something that I could have banked on happening. Now, I spent 7,000, I think it was 7,000 Visior on those summons to get these units, and where else could I have spent that 7,000 Visior? Well, I could have been spending it on Victoria shards. So you hopefully all saw my ridiculous Victoria pull video where I was super lucky to pull Victoria on my final pull of the video, and then I was left with like 55 Visior. So since then I've been scrounging at just whatever I can get to buy her shards. I just purchased her final 40 pack today, and I had to pass up on, it was 55 Victoria shards. I was insanely lucky because I wasn't doing any shop refreshes, and they just kept populating shops with Victoria shards, of which I could buy 0. So I was lucky and unlucky in a way. But I wasn't really unlucky. I created my own luck. I spent that 7,000 Visior. It got me 40 Mediana shards, but then none of the other things I got really helped that much. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but let's take a look at the banners and kind of carry on this thought. So we have 2 banners. There is a step up here that is a vision card increased rates step up. We've got Odin and Ifrit. Now the Ifrit card is not, it's fine, it's an okay card. It kind of clashes with Valve Love with the party boost for 20% attack or whatever it goes up to max, so you don't use the card as much generally, but the Esper is very good, especially for Pierce attackers, so it is good to have Espers, so that's a great pull. And then Odin is obviously one of the best cards and one of the best Espers in the game, hands down. So that's a very appetizing banner right off the bat. You're going to want to pull this, right? Well, there's even more. For each step, you're going to get these new MR growth eggs, and these drop in the daily now, so the daily dungeon. And then on the final step, you're going to get 50 of these eggs and a rainbow vision sphere. Holy guacamole. But there's no UR guaranteed here. It's still MR plus or vision card guaranteed, unit or vision card. So this one is for sure a trap. I don't think we can even really discuss this. If you're that desperate for the growth eggs, I mean, I think there's packages you can buy. There's also, like, every week we get a shop where you can buy 100 of the SR growth egg, and you can farm them every day. Like, you're gonna get there. These little tack-on bonuses, I don't think that they're worth it for the summon. Now, I do like the Elemental Thought and Prism ones, but even those don't pull just because, oh, I need Elemental Prism and Thoughts, but it's not a reason to pull, and the fact that it didn't slap a UR into the end of this is discouraging to me. I would not pull on this one. So we can just see here also, we'll take a look, all the units are all fine, but the vision cards, you do get that increase. Now, if you are desperate for Odin, or you're trying to get his his shards to level up the card, then I mean, yeah, Raid Up is nice if you have Visior to spend, and this is really, to me, this is a whales banner, because they are gonna have Visior. Whales are the types of players that are maxing vision cards anyway. Like anyone that's free to play or minnow or even dolphin status, like vision cards are so hard to max because you have to pull so many dupes, whereas we have hard quests for units. So this is a whale step up banner. It is not a step up banner that the majority of the player base should be pulling on. Now, we've also got this 5-stepper, and you know, this is the type of thing that I pulled on last time. This is where I struck it good. So these are, again, and I fell for it. I fell for the trap. I'll admit it. But these are really deceiving. So 1,000 Visior pull is really nice, right? 1,500, great, that's a discount. And then you have to do 2,000, but you get the 50 tickets, the prisms and the thoughts, and then the final one is the you are guaranteed. So this is certainly a lot of value in your summons, but the reason that they do these is because they want you to spend all your Visior. All the Visior you've been saving up. Then they drop the new units, and you think to yourself, oh, gee whiz, I wish I had one of these new units. I just spent all my Visior, and then Gumi's hoping that you go into the shop, you buy some Visior because you spent some of yours, and now they're generating some money. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get your Visior stores down. And if you have no intention of pulling on a unit for a while, then, you know, that's one thing. But you just never know when you're going to need this Visior. So I just gave you the example of Victoria, and I need Visior to pull her shards, and I'm lucky that we got a bunch for this Mobius collaboration. But if I hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to limit break for her, and then she wouldn't have been ready for guild battles at all for a long time doing just the hard quests. So that's where you can get kind of stuck. Now, the other example of that is, look at our other featured summon banner. We've got Ayaka and Mediana. Now look, this is so tailored to me, this experience, that it's unbelievable. You might be in a totally different boat, but the example still holds true. So I've spent all my Visior. I'm gonna spend the remainder of my Visior on Victoria to get her shards. But look at my URs. I have Ramza, it's max from the collab. And then the only other 2 URs that I had leveled were Ayaka and Mediana. Now, I started working on Mastery as a fun side project a while ago. I have not built any other URs. I have only worked on MRs after these units up here. So all of a sudden, I just pulled a unit. Her banner's gonna end, and she won't be featured for a while. My 2 other UR units that I have here they're featured right now, which means there's gonna be a break again before they're featured again. I am SOL for these 3 units after next week. They are not going to get featured. I'm not going to be able to buy up their shards, and their power levels are going to be relatively locked for a little bit. I'm not going to be able to get them to TMR status. If I had 7k Visior right now, then I would be in a way better position to be buying up Ayaka shards, Mediana shards. Maybe I just go hard for Victoria Max to get her TMR, something along those lines. And that is why you don't pull in the step up banner. Not because you think you might be saving up for something way down the road, or even if you're saving up for something not too far away but you think you can spend it. It's also for these surprise banners, for working on your team, because you can pull all the URs you want and they're gonna sit here at level 30, and you can also pull a dupe of a UR you have. It's just so unlikely that it happens. I really was very lucky. So what I'm advocating for here is that you save your Visior and you spend it on shards. When one of your favorite units is featured, you go ham on shop resets and you start building that unit and you make them powerful, and then you go wreck some people in PvP, and I'll give you a pat on the back because you deserve it. But if you are spending it on these banners, then you're not gonna be able to really maximize any of your units, and that is a bit of an issue depending on your playstyle. So I'm playing in a platinum platinum guild. Now I'm not a high flyer in the guild by any means, so I need to really push my party to the max to be able to make it useful for my guild. If I don't do that, then I really shouldn't be in there. So I am in a little bit different of a position. I'm sure there's lots of you that may be more casual, and you may not need to get the absolute most out of your units and get all the shards in a hurry, but that's definitely a position I'm in, and I think that in general, that is just a good approach to take. Focus on your units, save your Visio for them, and buy up their shards when they're available, and pick a long-term target. So for example, my next target that I'm going to be pulling for is going to be Mustadio in the FFT2 collab, and I have a lot of time to save up for that. It's very reasonable. I can buy shards in the meantime. If Ayaka or Mediana or Victoria were featured before then, I would have to weigh in on whether I'm going to go in on them again or not, but spending when good opportunities come up on banners, that is a very risky way to play. You may end up with a lot of non-maxed units, which is totally not ideal. Alright, so let's quickly mention when it is a good time to do these step-ups. If you're a whale, it's a good time to do the step-up banner. If you're just starting out, then this is really nice, a discounted summon. This is perfect for re-rolling depending on how much Visio you can get quickly. You could do the initial step up and then go do a couple like 1000 pull and 1500 pull here, and then reset your account and see how that goes. So that's, with the bingo, that could be a really good time to re-roll right now. It might be good if you're in my friend David's position, who just started playing the game. He has barely any URs, and he needs to expand his roster to find his favorite characters and to start building a team for the future. Those are all good times. If you just like pulling, then I don't want to discourage you. I don't want you to be, sad. Oh, Mysidia said don't pull. Now I feel bad about pulling. If that is really your favorite part of the game, which it is for a lot of people, then maybe limit yourself. Try to do the first two and just hang off, because I don't think, like, I've built multiple units in the same element now, and the elemental prisms and thoughts have not been as much of a roadblock as they were when I started my account. It used to be like, oh my goodness, there's no way I'm building a second. I've built I think 3.5 light characters now, so like I've been able to get elemental prisms and thoughts pretty easily. So that's not enough reason to pull on this banner, although it is certainly a very cool bonus on top of things. So really think about, what are your goals in War of the Visions? Do you need new units? Are you pulling just for fun? Are you pulling to try to get dupes? Is there a unit that you're going to be super upset that you don't have enough Visio for? Then don't pull on this banner. Wait. Just wait a little bit longer, and you're going to be really happy with yourself. And I think I really do. I think that there's going to be more of these. There's going to be better versions of them. I'm sure these are going to come and go. Like, this is already the second time we've got this 5-step, and then the first time we've got this ridiculous 3-step, unless again you're a whale. So these opportunities are going to come back. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. So if you did pull, get in the comments. I want to know, what did you get? Was it good? Did you have my kind of luck or what? And then otherwise, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that these banners are a trap or not? Because I'm sure that their opinions are going to vary. But otherwise, we're going to skedaddle. I got to work on an arena video and then possibly one other video. We'll see if I have time. All right. Take care. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MysidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Mysidians.